The guy who failed every single test in Demon Slayer's Academy is now standing in front of the sync machine. This sync machine measures how well a person's body can connect with a demon core, the energy source humans use for their transplanted armor. The higher your sync rate, the more demon power you can control. The top cadet of the class Situ just scored 39%, the highest in the entire group, and everyone calls her a prodigy, but nobody expects much from Aang. Yet the moment the test starts, the numbers shoot up like crazy. 20%, 40%, then more and more, until finally it reaches 80%. The instructors freak out thinking the machine's broken, but it's not. Our dude's the real deal, because what no one here knows is that this loser used to be humanity's strongest warrior. 60 years ago, he led an army of heroes against the demons that nearly destroyed the world. He fought the Crimson Demon King himself, and died taking his last breath in that final battle, but instead of dying for good, he woke up in a weak body decades in the future. With his consciousness fading away, he suddenly awakens in the body of a warrior. As he looks around, he realizes he is in some kind of boot camp trapped in another body. He feels he might be dreaming. Examining his hands and seeing that it feels too real to be a dream, he touches his face and realizes that it's a different face, not his cool, unbeatable, charismatic yet handsome face, and not his strong metal body. He has a meltdown right on the spot, asking who and where he is. Apparently he's in what appears to be a boot camp in the Helios region. The commander addresses them, making sure they understand what it means to participate in the soldier evaluation. The commander keeps on talking about how they wouldn't be here if it weren't for the soldiers who died in the war, and yells at the cadets asking if they truly know what it means to be a soldier. They all confirm. The protagonist, on the other hand, does not. He murmurs to himself about how the information is not correct, but the commander hears him and approaches. He questions him, asking if he doesn't understand the symbol that soldiers represent. The commander asks for his name, but the protagonist doesn't know what to answer, as he can't declare himself as the legendary hero Aang. Surprisingly, even in a reincarnated body, his name is still Aang, and this only pisses the commander off even more, as he sees it as a disgrace to the righteous name. He calls him a stupid fool who has yet to achieve the foundation of a soldier's self-cultivation, then slams his face on the ground. The protagonist is totally disappointed that his body can't even react to a blow of such a low level and still shares the same name as him. The commander, while walking away, tells him in a threatening tone that he'll be paying extra close attention to him, then goes back to addressing the whole crowd. He tells everyone to move to the evaluation field, as next up is the physical evaluation. One of the soldiers helps Aang up and asks if he's okay. He introduces himself as Lancino, and notes how our boy has a name to feel pride about. Just as he's saying this, a white-haired girl in front interrupts, mocking A for sharing the same name with the legendary hero. One thing for sure, she got a strong hate boner for our boy and his name. Her name is Situlo, by the way, and she walks away calling him childish, which pisses our boy off badly. He complains to Lan that the girl has a cocky attitude. Hearing this, his freshly made friend is honestly surprised he doesn't know her. He identifies her as the most anticipated evaluation soldier of their batch, a young lady with the nickname Cold-Blooded Demon, and the daughter of the most esteemed martial family of the Helios region, the Situ noble family. Aang finds the name Situ very familiar, and tries to recall where he has heard it before. His new friend picks him up from the floor, and some girl takes a picture of them from behind, calling it a truly enchanting bromance. They turn toward her, and she tells them they can ignore her and continue. While the protagonist tries to keep a serious face to ask her who she is, Lan asks if she just took a picture of them, which Agnes isn't the main point right now. She introduces herself as Suju Yu Hoi and says it's nice to meet them. Apparently, she saw the boys' interaction as some weird bromance scene, which for some reason caught her attention. Aang finds it unfortunate that she is not the sharpest tool in the shed. At the fitness test venue, Aang gets fired up, reminding himself that despite having a body that is weak, he is still ultimately the strongest warrior. He intends to stun everybody by obtaining monstrous grades. The test begins with the long-distance endurance round. Aang sets off quickly, aiming to secure the top rank, and sets a new record while he is at it. In the end, he does break a record, but for the longest time taken in a long-distance endurance test, ultimately coming last and getting laughed at by everyone. The second fitness test is the explosive arm strength test, where A also comes last and even sprains his wrist. He does horribly again in the third test, the explosive leg strength test, ending up last once more. Lu mocks him for having the worst results in the Academy's history. Lan tries to cheer him up, while Su is disappointed that this might be the last time she can take pictures of both of them together. Meanwhile, Gyoteng and the officiator discuss his performance. Gi tells the captain that Aang's results are so poor that he should be eliminated immediately, as there is no need to proceed to the second round of assessments. The captain agrees there might not be much hope for him, but he still has the right to participate in the second round of tests, which might even be his last chance. He orders for the second round to begin immediately. For this test, they gather inside a building and are assessed on their synchronization with their special equipment. For Aang, this is his chance to shine. He remembers keeping an average sync rate over 96% in the past. Even though he is not in the best shape now, he knows it comes down to determination, and he is ready to prove the doubters wrong. Checking out the grafting gear, which looks like it is from 60 years in the future, and is super light, he feels pumped. Lu, who trains with a martial arts family, gets a sync rate of 39%, the highest of anyone there. This makes her the center of attention, and someone even wants to date her because she is so impressive. When she finds out her score in the lounge, she is over the moon even though she tries to keep her cool. Hung is amazed upon seeing this girl doing 39% on her first try. His new friend talks about how Liu seems to have a fiery strength hidden in her, and A can feel it too. Lin then suddenly notes that his friend does not look worried about the test, and our boy confirms that he isn't. After all, he is used to this kind of thing. Then the test continues. For many newbies, it is their first time using the grafting equipment, and it clearly hurts. The demon core hits them hard, putting a lot of strain on their bodies from the start. A few cannot take the pain and quit. To pass, warriors need at least a 10% sync rate. Lan manages 24%, which is a pleasant surprise. Suju gets 30% and passes as well. Zhang mentions that this round shows some really promising new talent. His colleague points out that including Suyu, there are 6 warriors who stand out in their group. Jiang agrees there are good prospects, but also some who clearly are not cut out for this. Then it is our boy's turn, and people start making fun of him, guessing his sync rate will be low because of his earlier poor performance. Ung is sure that they are going to eat their words. He is determined to show them up and hopes they are ready for a huge surprise. Bro's face is enough to tell you about his confidence. Picks the red core because it boosts physical strength, and he knows there are 6 different demon cores from the battlefield. The common ones are red, yellow, green, and blue. He figures that getting a high sync rate is all about having strong willpower. The more willpower you have, the more power you can pull from the core and control it. When asked if he is ready, he says yes. Once they start, everyone in the lounge feels a strong reaction, especially Liu, who is surprised it is coming from Aang. My guy, on the other hand, is determined to show them the power of a top warrior. By now, Lan has started to suspect that our boy is hiding his true strength. Everyone is amazed when his sync rate hits 40%. Ung feels sure he can push it to 96%, so he increases his effort. The warriors watch as his rate climbs to 60%. Yutong cannot believe it and wonders if the equipment is broken. A girl reports that it is still rising now at 80%. Some start to think Aang is cheating or that the gear is faulty, but we all know that our boy just wants to prove he is the best and show them a real difference in power. Then he feels a strange shift and becomes extremely tired. He says he cannot go on. Someone asks if he is joking, and it turns out the equipment has glitched. In the end, his sync rate is only 10%. The assistant explains to Gitang that the core has broken and is probably faulty, which caused the strange readings. But of course the commander is not sure if it is just a mere glitch. Aang still passes with 10%, though others think the core is bad. After all, there is no way in hell that such a weak body could achieve such a high rate.